Hi everyone, this is Jonah with Green Iowa AmeriCorps, and welcome to the next installment in our Endangered Species series. This week I'll be talking about this local endangered species, the Blandings turtle. So here's the Blandings turtle. It's a species of a semi-aquatic turtle that's native to the northeastern and north central part of the United States. Since it's semi-aquatic, that means that it spends some of its time on land and some of its time in the water. It's a pretty distinct looking turtle. The best way to tell that it's a Blandings turtle is the bright yellow chin, which makes it look like it's smiling. They also have a dark carapace, which is the upper part of the shell with lighter spots, and their plastron, which is the lower part of the shell, over here has black mixed with yellow splotches. So on this slide, these are all turtles known to occur in Iowa. There are 13 species known to occur in Iowa total. Can you identify which one is a Blandings turtle out of this group? That's right, the bright yellow chin is a dead giveaway for this Blandings turtle. So where do they live? They're a wetland species, which means that they like it wet. You know, they like marshes, shallow lakes, the ponds and streams and those are all pretty great habitats for them. Anywhere with enough food and water to swim in is pretty good for them. Their favorite habitats are those with clear, clean, shallow standing water with a lot of aquatic vegetation. They don't like areas with a lot of quick moving water like a big river, and they don't really like dirty, polluted water. So on this slide is a map of where you can find the Blandings turtle in the United States and Canada. They tend to stick around the northeastern and north central United States. They like states like Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, southern Ontario, which is in Canada, and Iowa. And I can personally confirm that there are Blandings turtles here in Johnson County. This is a picture of me holding one that me and my professor found last spring. So what do they like to eat? Well, they're an omnivore, which means that they eat plants and animals. They eat a lot of different foods, including stuff like crayfish, aquatic insects, fish, frogs, dead stuff, berries, and other types of fruit, and some types of aquatic plants. One really cool feature is that the Blandings turtle has is their really long neck. They can tuck their entire head inside of their shell to protect themselves from predators, and they can extend their neck really far out to grab food. It's a really neat adaptation that they have for their environment. So here in Iowa, it gets really hot in the summer and really cold in the winter, and they have to be able to deal with both temperature extremes. So how do they do that? They don't have fur or feathers to keep themselves warm, so they like to bask in the sun a lot. During the spring, summer, and early fall, they spend a lot of time in the sun getting warm, swimming in the water, and eating and laying their eggs. If you ever see a Blandings turtle out and about, they'll probably run away from you because they're a really shy species, though. And when they do run away from you, they tend to dive underwater where they can hold their breath for hours. So when it gets really hot in the summer, usually they can just dive into the water and cool down quickly, but sometimes the water dries up or it can just be way too hot. And when that happens, they'll estivate. So what does estivate mean? Well, it's like hibernation where they fall asleep until conditions get better. In this case, they tend to bury themselves in a bunch of dead plants and sometimes they'll dig themselves into the dirt. And basically, they just sleep until the weather gets better for them. It gets cool enough for them to go back to their regular business. During the summer is when they lay their eggs. Once the turtles are around 18 years old, they start laying eggs. The mother will sometimes go over a mile away from the water to dig a nest and lay her eggs in, and then she'll cover them up and leave them. She usually lays somewhere between 6 and up to 15 eggs. After about 2 months of incubation, they'll all hatch and they leave the nest to find a body of water to live in. So once the summer's over and it starts to get colder, it can get really cold in Iowa. So Blandings turtle will go through brumation, which is also like hibernation. Once temperatures get below about 55 degrees Fahrenheit, the turtles will dive down into the water, dig into the mud, and they'll stay underwater for the entire winter. They actually hold their breath and go to sleep until it gets warm outside. Once it warms up, they'll wake up and swim out of the water for a fresh breath of air. An interesting fact about Blanding's turtle is how old they can get. It takes about 18 years for them to become adults, but after that, they don't seem to get any older. A 50-year-old Blanding's turtle looks and acts the same as a 20-year-old, and scientists can't really tell them apart. The oldest one ever found was at least 83 years old, and it might have even been way older. She was caught as an adult back in 1954 and was caught most recently in 2016. So this series focuses on endangered species, and Blanding's turtle is an endangered species. Endangered means that there aren't that many individuals left in the wild, and that they're usually in danger. Their numbers aren't going up very quickly. Humans seem to be the main cause of this. We pollute their habitat with trash and chemicals. We've converted a lot of wetlands into farms and houses, and a lot of turtles can get hit every year when crossing the road. There are a lot of scientists and researchers in the United States and Canada working on how we can make sure that there are plenty of Blanding's turtles and to keep their populations big and healthy. So what can you do to help? The best thing is to not litter. Trash usually ends up in wetlands and rivers, even if that's not where it was thrown originally. Dispose of your trash properly and remember to recycle. Another huge help is to clean up parks and wetlands. Join a trash cleanup event where volunteers spend a day cleaning an area up. It's really helpful for the animals that live there, and it makes it look a lot nicer. So to recap, what have we learned today? Blanding's turtle is an endangered species that lives in Iowa. You can identify it from its bright yellow chin. They like wetlands, like ponds and marshes, and they eat a lot of different foods. They hibernate in the winter, and sometimes they'll even hibernate in the summer. They're endangered because of human activities, and you can help by taking good care of the environment around you. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed this installment of the Endangered Species video series.